Marhaba, my name is Megan and welcome to Wanderlust Voyages. While we are normally here to tell you all about Morocco, today we are going to continue with our American recipe series. Today's recipe is that early quarantine favorite, banana bread, or in our case, banana muffins. The recipe is going to be the same whether you want to bake it in a loaf form or muffin form. That's going to be up to you. So banana bread is a quick bread, meaning it doesn't use yeast. It's going to rise just by baking powder. It is also the go-to to use up overly ripe bananas. You want them to be just past ripe so that you get that really intense banana flavor in the bread. They are delicious and moist and perfect for breakfast. So let's go make some. To make our banana bread or banana muffins, we're going to need a few ingredients. First, we need 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. We're also going to need 1 cup plus 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar, 3.5 bananas that are very ripe and mashed with a fork, 1/2 cup vegetable oil, 2 tablespoons of sour cream or plain unsweetened yogurt, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 2 eggs, 3/4 cup walnuts, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. We will begin by sifting together our flour and spices. This is going to remove any lumps, help aerate it, and help mix it together. So half the flour, our spices and salt. Just mix that or sift that into a separate bowl. Now, because I am using kosher salt, it's not actually going to get through the sieve. I'm just going to use this to get out all the lumps and then I'll dump it in after. So you see we have a couple lumps down there. Just press those through and add in your salt. All right. Now we need to combine our sugar and eggs. Always do the eggs first, just in case you get a shell in there. And of course, if you ever do get a piece of shell, don't use your fingers to try to get it out. That's just going to chase it around, but use a piece of shell to scoop it out. So we're going to put those in the bowl of a stand mixer fitted with a whisk attachment. We're going to whisk this until very light and golden, about 5 minutes. If you're using a hand mixer, you're going to need about 8 minutes. So you don't have to hear all of that, I will be right back when it is ready. Okay, so that has been about 5 minutes on medium speed. Look at how light and pale golden this is. This is what you are looking for. Now, we need to incorporate the oil, but we don't want to lose all of that lightness. So what we're going to do is, with the mixer running, slowly pour in the oil. It should take about a minute to get the entire 1/2 cup in there. Keep it running to help emulsify it and get it blended in with keeping that wonderful volume. Okay, all of our oil has been added. You can see it is still pale and golden and just a little bit fluffy. We are now going to add our 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 2 tablespoons of sour cream or yogurt. You can also use creme fraiche if that is easier for you to find. And our 3.5 mashed ripe bananas. All this goes in and we're going to mix it just to combine it. All right, our liquid is all blended in now. So the next part we're going to do with a rubber spatula, so we can get rid of this. Now we need to fold in the flour mixture. This is a quick bread. We don't want to develop the gluten in the flour. So by folding it in carefully until it is just combined is going to help it from being overworked. If you overwork the bread, it's going to not rise appropriately and it's going to end up flat and tough instead of light and delicate. Whenever you're folding, be sure to scrape the sides and just turn it over. This isn't so much stirring as it is trying to just move what's on the bottom of the bowl to the top. Okay, I don't see any more flour streaks in there. So now we are going to add in our chopped walnuts. Of course, if you don't like nuts in your bread or muffins, you can always leave them out. All right, now to put them in the muffin tins. When I make muffins, I like to use paper liners just because it's a little bit easier to get them out and a little bit less messy. However, if you don't have them or don't want to use them, you can always just grease the muffin cups. And to portion it, I have a cupcake scoop, but again, you can use a regular spoon. So this is about 1/4 cup. You want to just fill each one. If you are making this as a loaf, you will want your pan to be greased and floured with the excess flour tapped out of it. And of course, if your muffin cups are a different size, then you want them about 3/4 of the way full. You want room for it to expand. I have these wonderful cups that have extra height to them, so I'm going a little bit more than I would if I were just filling these without any liners. So this recipe makes about 1½ dozen muffins. If you have 2 muffin pans, you can put them in at the same time. Otherwise, you can wait and cook them separately. Just leave the batter out. And there you go. We're going to put this in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes. If you're doing banana bread, it's going to take about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. So let's get these baked. All right, here are the muffins out of the oven. You want to put them on a wire rack to cool. And of course, before you take them out, be sure to use the toothpick test. Put a toothpick in the center, and if it comes out clean, they are all done. You want to leave them in the pan to cool for about 5 minutes, and then on a wire rack to cool for at least 15 more minutes before you dig into them. So there you have it, banana walnut muffins. Bon appetit!